everybody, it's Thad Peterson of ringsuits.com. Today I'm bringing you a quick little overview video about the stitching enhancements that Seynaeve makes to the inner arm and inner leg seams of the suits that we sell. Now I should mention that in most cases, like maybe 98% of the jackets and pants that I've sold from Seynaeve with the standard stitching on the inner arms and inner legs, there was never a problem. But there were a few circumstances where there were some issues. So I asked Seynaeve what they could do to improve that situation and improve the durability of those seams, and what they came up with has worked perfectly. I just happen to have a pair of pants here that have a contrasting stitching color to the color of the fabric. So these two lines of stitching that run parallel to the seam right here are the extra stitching that Seynaeve puts into the inner arm and inner leg seams of the suits that we sell, and that's how you can tell that you have it. Is look for those two lines of stitching right there. Ordinarily, when a leg or arm is sewn together, it's sewn inside out, and the seam is stitched on the outside of the piece of the garment, and then it's turned right side out, and that puts the seam like this, so that the seam is on the inside and those flaps of fabric are on the inside. Those flaps of fabric have stitching along the edges of them to stabilize the edges of the fabric, but they're still left kind of flopping inside there. These lines of stitching actually stitch down that flap of fabric to really stabilize the fabric on each side of the seam. And it's not easy to get this done because it has to be done after the arm or leg has already been sewn together. For comparison, what we have here is the inner leg seam of my personal pair of Ringsuits training concept pants. I've been using these for about a year now on primarily leg biting dogs, and you can see there's no problems with this seam. But you do see on this pair of pants that there are no two lines of stitching paralleling that seam. And so what that does is it allows the inner tails of fabric or flaps of fabric to just be loose inside the pant leg, which means that everything can move as well as possible along this seam for the maximum amount of flexibility on that seam, while in most cases, as I said, having plenty of durability. But everybody seems to be quite happy with the trade-off to have the additional durability at that cost of a little teeny bit of flexibility. If you have a question about this topic or anything else having to do with Seynaeve bite suits or Seynaeve bite training equipment, please don't hesitate to give me a call at 517-668-1224, or check out our Facebook page for updates. It's facebook.com/ringsuits.